From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And incomplete to open things up. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And now we get a peek at the Titan offense.
The Titans wanted a little bit more out of the number 5 pick in the draft in 2017, and that is Corey Davis. And I expect that they'll get it moving forward. Beset by hamstring injuries in preseason last year, it was slow going in the beginning, but he really started to come on as the season concluded. In fact, in the postseason, 9 catches, 98 yards with 2 touchdowns in 2 games. I expect that he'll be the number 1 receiver in 2018 and beyond.
Now they'll run with Lewis. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A look at the numbers last week for Dion Lewis. 25 carries, 131 yards, and also the score.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
A 1st down throw for Mariota. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays. And they didn't seem to
I didn't
want
offer mine.
it. You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well. I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
To throw Mariota. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint.
Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. In for the score. And the Titans have taken a first-quarter lead. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The numbers for Jeffrey from last week, well up over 100 yards, and one of those catches found his way into the end zone.
I do think he'll be hard-pressed to duplicate those numbers this week, though, because he's gotten their attention, so they will double him on every snap at a minimum. In some cases, they'll triple him.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
82.
Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! Devontae Freeman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him. And I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They run. This is Lewis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Coming off injury in 2017 is middle linebacker Jordan Hicks, who's an important part of the Eagles' wide 9 defense. And when you hear that term, think about the defensive ends out wider than normal so they have a better angle to rush the quarterback. So that means guys like Jordan Hicks, who played middle linebacker, have to be able to fill in the holes against the running game, and he does that very effectively.
Now a second down throw for Mariota. And it's caught. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a first down. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. It was pretty evident in reading everything, hearing these guys talk, that this was a deal they wanted to get done. They know how valuable he is to this team.
Absolutely a key component to what they do and what they do well. And if they want to continue to have success in the future, they knew they needed him, and they got the deal done.
They'll run for it with Dion Lewis. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal. Mariota. Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. And Suckup will put this one right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. He finds an opening past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Freeman again, a first down carry. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get it. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Now they'll throw it. Wentz firing quickly here, and that's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Now Wentz on third down. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right, and he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Devontae Freeman with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. All right, let's discuss Dion Lewis as he gets set to go again. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy. Okay, we're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Mariota on first down. And Davis has it over the middle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Off the play fake, Mariota. And Davis with it left side. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Start offense.
And that'll set him back 5. So the Titans come up here 1st and 15, but kind of interesting, the Titans were penalized the 2nd least amount in the NFL in 2017. Again, it's Mariota. He will find Davis on the left side complete. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
On third down, Mariota. And he finds his target. It's sharp. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an error in the game.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Jonnu Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Titans are able to strike for 6. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. They worked out for 6. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. Now he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. The tackle is made by Adoree Jackson. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Man, how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
And 21 yards there as they convert on third. Working from the gun, Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Now Wentz throwing on second down. Snead's got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
On second down, Freeman. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Wesley Woodyard there on the tackle. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie, the coach, a true veteran now.
A crafty veteran. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. So let's get over, we step aside. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will tie things at 17 all. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
They'll start things on first down with Dion Lewis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
First down, Mariota. Dumps it off to Lewis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10. First down now, but that clock rolling. Mariota now to throw on first down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw is Mariota. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Mariota. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
74.
They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. 23 yards on the play. The Eagles hustling to the line. Clock rolling.
Great 15.
And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
That's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
81.
Throwing his Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now Wentz. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Wentz now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Now Wentz again. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Elliott puts this one through. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum and it get.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They do go for it. It's Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Throwing on first is Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. It's complete to Snead. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Benny Logan in there on the tackle. A 20th carry now for Freeman. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
When the Titans selected Alabama linebacker Rashaan Evans at number 22, I thought it was a perfect fit. Gives him a chance to apprentice a little bit with Wesley Woodyard right there next to him and eventually take over running that defense. He can run, he can hit, he can cover. Everything you expect out of a first-round linebacker.
And Jeffrey's got it. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Eagles on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Wentz. Hard throw, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the 3rd. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
And I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They try again with Lewis. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Mariota now on 2nd down. Powerful running. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Taylor. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mariota now. Going underneath for Lewis. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. They run. Devontae Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive, and when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's kept the defense so much on their heels. Got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy? And what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Freeman again. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
A first carry now for Alex Collins, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple down inside the 35 to the 34. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Here's Wentz to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Freeman taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And he keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8, so tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage, just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, you know, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it in with a PAT, right? In this case, a field.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Vontae Davis. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's got some space here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That good for 19 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Freeman at tailback. He's got it running left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now it's Freeman. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the fourth.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Marcus Mariota and the offense heading back out for their next possession. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Second down, Mariota. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Over the middle to Smith. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Now Lewis. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Mariota. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Desperation time. Mariota on fourth down. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Coming left, it's Freeman. Room here to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Wentz going to throw. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That catch, I believe, will put him right at 200 yards for the game. Indeed, it does. 200 yards, he's been incredible.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take him to the...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Freeman, 40 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Dion Lewis getting set to go again here with his guys on offense. He is fully awake now. If he didn't get off to the start that he normally does, they've got his attention. He's running it well.
You think they set off the alarm clock at the half? You think that's what went down? I know this, having played on the defensive side of the ball, if you do a really good job against a great runner, and you go into the half, you're excited, you're fired up, you think the game plan is working, but in the back of your head, there's that little bit of nagging doubt. Can we do this for 4 quarters? So far, that's not happening. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Calvin Pryor. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
This is Freeman. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Devontae Freeman, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th. Oh, this is blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now? Much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing is Mariota. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now Mariota throwing the out route incomplete. That's Davis. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Mariota. Wide open receiver complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Mariota again. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point up and good by Suckup. Around the NFL, they're in the 4th now in Green Bay. The gap has widened there. The Packers have scored again. Aaron Rodgers, he was on fire. 5 touchdown passes. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Wentz to throw. Rolling to his right. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 23 yards on the play.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Freeman, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And with that scamper into the end zone, it breaks the single-game record for rushing touchdowns.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Every variety of run we wanted to see, we got to see.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, Somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
First down, Mariota dumps it off to Lewis. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. One last shot now for Mariota. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Eagles, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.